Hello students, welcome for the course of MBA Semester 3 Human Relation and Legal Framework. Today is our lecture 9. The topic of today's discussion is Important Definitions in Industrial Dispute Act 1947. The primary objective of this today's session is help to understand some important definitions of Industrial Dispute Act 1947. Here we are going to see the contents industry, which is defined in section 2J, workman section 2S, strike section 2Q, forms of industrial dispute, this is also called as types of strikes, lockout section L, difference between layoff and lockout. So we are starting from the industry. The term industry is defined in section 2J. Okay, it means that any kind of business or trade undertaking or any manufacturer calling for employer and includes any calling services, employment, handicraft, industrial occupation, avocation of workmen, means any industrial premises, those who are providing some sort of employment in any one of the unit, okay, they are being treated as an industry. The industry will include various forms. There will be municipalities, hospitals, charitable institutions, clubs, universities, research institutions, professional firms, voluntary services, all those comes under the section 2J of industry. Workman. Now any person, those who are employed in any organization or any industry, they will be called as what? Workman. So workman exactly means any person including an apprentice employed in any industry to do any manual, unskilled, skilled, technical, operational, clerical or supervisory work for hire or reward, whether the terms of employment be express or implied, and for the purpose of any proceeding under this act in relation to the industrial dispute, which include the following conditions. Means any particular person or any apprentice, those who are employed in any industry and performing some sort of manual, unskilled, skilled, technical, operational, clerical or supervisory work, okay, and whether the terms of conditions of the employment either express or implied by means of using some contract in any one of the industry, that particular person will be called as workman. So there are provisions are there with respect to the workman. Any such person who has been dismissed, discharged or retrenched in connection with or a consequence of that dispute. So a person those are working in such organization, okay, that person will be treated as a workman. Okay, any person whose dismissal, discharge or retrenchment had led to the dispute. So any person those who have been either dismissed or discharged or due to certain cases of dispute it has been retrenched, they will be also considered as a workman. But it does not include the following person who is subject to the Army Act 1950, okay, Air Force Act 1950 and Navy Act 1957. So means what? All kind of personnel, those who are belonging to Army, Air Force or Navy, okay, these employees, okay, or workers, those are not treated as workman according to this definition. Who is employed in the police services or as an officer or the other employee of the prison, okay, persons those are also belonging to police services or prison, jail, okay, they will be not treated as a workman in this case. Who is employed mainly in managerial and administrative capacity. So any of the employees those are in the managerial capacity or administrative capacity, they will be also not treated as a workman. Who is employed in supervisory capacity, drawing more than 1600 per month as wages. So any person who is getting 1600 rupees per month as wages, okay, and performing some supervisory tasks, they are not treated as workman. Who is exercising either by the nature of the duties attached to the office or the person of the power vested in him functions mainly of a managerial nature. So any person who is performing some sort of duties, okay, which has been assigned by the office, or some particular power has been vested to that particular employee, and performing some managerial related task, those persons are not included as workman. Then strike. Strike means what called as a cessation of work or continuous cessation of work by a body of person employed in any industry, acting in combination or concentrated refusal, or the refusal under the common understanding of any person, any number of persons who are or have been employed to continue to work or to accept the employment. So in case of strike is nothing but the cessation of work wherever the body of persons, means number of persons, comes together and they will refuse to work in that industrial premises, then it will be said to be what called as strike. Okay, so strike is nothing but quitting of work by a group of workers for getting their demands accepted by the employer. So here in case the large number of workers come together and they will be refused to any kind of work in an organization, so they are not accepting the whatever the terms and conditions of the employment to so as to satisfy their demand. So it will be considered as one of the most powerful tool used by the trade unions to pressurize the management to accept their demands. So strike is a number one weapon, okay, in the hands of the workers or trade union to negotiate their demands with the employer. Now there are different forms of industrial disputes. Some of these disputes are called as types of strike. So we came to know the workers will either whenever they will go on strike, so that strike would be take the different form. Okay, we will have stay in strike, sit down strike, pen down strike, and tool down strike. So whenever what happened here in an industrial premises, the workmen came for work but they refused to work, so they will take their seat but refuse to work. Okay, even in the industrial premises, when it has been asked to leave the premises, they even refuse to do so. So in that case, such kind of strikes are sometimes dangerous. All such acts on the part of the workman acting in combination amount to the strike. Since such strikes are directed against the employer, they are also called as primary strike. So here primarily the workers, those who came at the workplace but they refused to do the work or whatever task which has been allocated, even if the employer told them to leave the premises, industrial premises, but they also refused to do so. In that case, this is called as either stay in strike or sit down strike, pen down. Okay, here whatever form of manual work, okay, or tool down, they will keep their equipments in such a way that could not get work with the help of various tools in an industrial premises. Then go slow strike. Go slow does not amount to be a strike. It is not exactly called as strike, but it is a very serious case of misconduct. Okay, so people or the workers, those who are coming in the industrial premises for work, but they are using some sort of go slow tactics. Okay, so these go slow tactics particularly slows down the production processes, and in that in some sometimes it it slows down the production processes, and sometimes it may be causes to some sort of accidents and replacements of parts of the machinery, so that may be affect the overall working of an enterprise. Sometimes there will be possibility of what happen, that is called as either the accidents or some replacement or part of the machinery. So this may be regarded as some sort of misconduct. Go slow tactics. Sympathetic strike. Okay, Sympathetic strike, again, it is a cessation of work in support of the demands of the workers, those who are belonging to any other industrial employer or any other industrial unit. So in that case, what happen? Okay, the workers, those who are primarily they support to stand for the demands of the workmen, those who are belonging to some other industry. Okay, in that case, this type of strike is called as sympathetic strike. So they just want to give the sympathy to those workmen, those who are belonging to other industries. So this is an unjustifiable invasion of the right of the employer who is not at all involved in the dispute. So here the either the employer, they will look into the matter very carefully and identify, okay, which particular worker, those who are in support of that sympathetic strike of any other industrial premises. So management of the enterprise, they will take the necessary action against them. The management can take even the disciplinary action for the absence of the workman. So any particular employee, those are in support of any sympathetic strike to any of the employer, okay, in that case some necessary action would be taken against them. Hunger strike, some workers may resort to some fast on the nearby places, okay, or residence of the employer. If it is a peaceful, does not result in cases of work, it is not the continue a strike. But if due to such an act, even those present for work could not be given work, it will amount to strike. Okay. Now, in case of hunger strike, the workers, those who are coming on the industrial premises, so they may resort to either some sort of fast, okay, or near that industrial premises. So it is a very peaceful form of strike, but sometimes there will be a cessation of work, it will not constitute as a strike, okay. So there is no refusal of work. The workers are demanding to satisfy their own demands, maybe say for example raises in the wages, okay, or whatever the terms and conditions of the employment that should be get resolved by means of using some sort of hunger strikes. Work to rule, since there is no cessation of work, it does not constitute a strike. So in case of work to rule, the workers are coming at the workplace, okay, but they are not supposed to perform the duties, okay. Since there is no cessation of work, it does not constitute a strike. So Gherav is nothing but an action taken by the workers under which they restrict the employer to leave the work premises or the residence of their workplace. Gheravs. Now these Gheravs are nothing but the action taken by a group of workers either to leave the work premises or the residence of the employer. So they will restrict the employer and do not allow to go from that work premises or residence. So in this case, a group of workers form a ring, okay, and in center there will be an employer, and this employer are being scolding in such a way they are not allowed to go from the work premises or residence of that particular employer. So Gheravs are generally being adopted by the educational institutions and other industries. It is generally treated as an illegal act according to the law. So in most of these industrial disputes, this sort of action means Gheravs are generally being the most common action, which will reflect some sort of unrest among the workers, and workers are mostly using such kind of techniques to raise their demands. Next one is called as picketing. So picketing is one of the activity, but sometimes it should be in such a way, okay, wherever when the workers are not allowed to report for the workplace, okay, by deputing some men at the factory premises. So in case of picketing, generally picketing is nothing but a form of morchas, something like that, wherever a group of workers stands together in front of the factory gate, but they are not allowed to get inside the factory gate, and so as to report their workplace. If picketing does not involve any violence, it is perfectly legal, but in most of the cases, the picketing could get the problem with respect to whenever there is a some sort of violence, then in that case that picketing will become an illegal activity. It is done to bring into the notice of public that there is a dispute between the workers and the management. So in case of picketing, okay, generally we do find wherever large number of workers come on the front side of the factory gate, and they will raise their voices by means of using some sort of morchas or banner in their hands, okay, and they will go to ask the management of the company or the organization and to satisfy their demand. So this form of activity is called as picketing. Lockout generally called as a temporary closing of the workplace or place of employment. So either it will be called as a temporary closing of the premises, industrial premises, wherever the workers could not allowed to get the work done, okay, in that particular organization, or there will be called as a some temporary suspension of the work, okay, from in that workplace premises, okay, or it will be called as a refusal by an employer to continue to employ any number of persons employed by him. Now whenever the employer, those who are not in a position to get the large number of workers get inside the factory premises due to certain reason, so the employer can declare the lockout. So in that case, okay, generally there will be a refusal by an employer to continue to employ the number of persons employed by him. So generally in case of lockout, we came to know about the three forms of situation. Either there will be a temporary closing of the workplace, or there will be a temporary suspension of the work, okay, of a worker, or there will be a refusal by an employer to continue to employ the work of the employees. So in lockout, the employer either they will refuse to continue the to employ the workmen employed by him, even though there is no intention to close down the unit. So whenever the employer, they are not in a position to employ the worker and to provide the employment in their factory premises, so in that case the employer can declare the lockout, okay, and they will refuse to employ the worker at the workplace. The essence of lockout is the refusal of the employer, okay. Whenever the lockout has been declared by an employer, there is a necessity condition that, okay, there must be some refusal of the employer to continually to employ the workman, okay. So either he will declare the suspension of the work order. So whatever the work order has been there or according to the contract, okay, so in case of lockout, the employer can suspend the work order and it will constitute a lockout. But mere suspension of work, unless it is accompanied by an intention of the part of the employer as a retaliation, will not amount to lockout. So in case of lockout, okay, whenever the employer will declare some sort of suspension of work, so in that case some of the workers can go against the management of the enterprises and they will ask for the reason. So in that case sometime the employer can use a tactics of retaliation, where there will be a counter attack by both the parties, labor and management, and will not amount to lockout. So in that case the situations become very critical to handle. So sometimes that lockouts kind of situation is very difficult to handle. Lockout is the step taken by an employer to put pressure on the workers. So sometimes here in case of lockout, many of the employers they are using some different forms of tactics to get the work done from the employees on using whatever forms of terms and conditions has been specified either in contract, or even they will continue or discontinue the contract and compel the worker to work according to their terms and conditions of employment. So here in that case employer close down the workplace until the worker goes agrees to continue on work. So in that case they will be feel exploited with respect to whatever terms and conditions of employment by the employer, and wherever the employer are using such forms of pressurizing tactics to control the labor as well as the workers and their trade union workers, and they are using some sort of these tactics to get agreed on whatever forms of terms and conditions which are feasible to the management of the enterprise. Layoff has been defined in section 2 KKK. Okay, according to layoff means any sort of failure or refusal by an employer to give the employment to the worker, okay, due to certain following reasons. So it is called as generally the inability of the employer to give the employment to the worker, okay, due to certain reason. So what reasons has been there in terms of layoff, okay, to a workman whose name appears on the muster roll of his industrial establishment and who has not been retrenched. Okay, now such a kind of workers, okay, that workers can be laid off, okay, who is on the muster roll of industrial establishment and he has not been retrenched from the organization. Okay, so due to several reasons the employer either that they could not accept that particular employee or worker at the workplace due to the employer's inability, okay, maybe due to certain reasons. So that reasons would be related with shortage of coal, power, or any form of raw material at the workplace, accumulation of stock, breakdown of machinery, or any sort of natural calamity that happens in the industrial premises, for any other connected reasons with respect to whatever the industrial premises has been there. If anything has occurs in relation to that particular industrial premises, so in that case the employer can refuse to work at the workplace, and that will be called as a failure, refusal, or inability of the employer to give the employment due to certain reason. Okay, in that case it is said to be layoff. Now the difference between layoff and lockout. As we came to know what is layoff and lockout, okay, in case of layoff the employer can refuse to give the employment due to certain specific reason. So there will be some reason, okay, in case of layoff, wherever the employer can refuse the worker to give the employment. In case of lockout, okay, there is a deliberate closure of the business and employer lockout the worker not due to any such reason. So in case of lockout, so there may be either a deliberate closure of the enterprise or any particular business. An employer can use that as a tool to refuse the employment at the workplace in case of lockout. In case of layoff, the business will continues, means the operations of business can continue in layoff kind of situation. Okay, whereas in case of lockout the place of business is closed down completely, okay, or for time being the overall working of an enterprise or that production plant could stop all the manufacturing operations. In case of layoff, the result of trade reason, layoff generally would happen on account of certain trade related matters. So maybe that reason would be either related with the terms and conditions of the employment, even in majority of cases related with the economical aspects of the enterprise. Say for example, production of particular units within that factory premises, where in case of lockout is a weapon of collective bargaining process. So whenever we try to get an amicable solution to collective bargaining related activities by means of using mutual discussion, here if the terms and conditions are not feasible in case of both the parties, so in that case the employer can go for lockout. Layoff is not for any restriction and penalties. In case of layoff, there will not be any sort of restrictions and penalties on the part of the labor, whereas lockout is subject to certain form of restrictions and penalties. So one cannot directly go for lockout. Okay, so lockout should be declared very appropriately, and the employer can refuse the terms and conditions of the employment at the workplace. In case of layoff, wages and or compensation to be paid to the workers. Particularly during the layoff period, it is quite necessary to provide the wages to the workers or some sort of compensation which has been specified under the related acts that should be need to be provided during layoff period. Whereas in case of lockout, there is no question of any wages or compensation being paid to the workers unless it has been just unjustified in that particular law. So in majority of cases, whenever the lockout period has been declared by the employer, so no question of wages or compensation to be paid unless it is to be held to be unjustified. So that is the primary condition of lockout. So that is all about our today's session. Thank you very much.